We want the truth. We want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We want the truth. We want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We want the truth. We want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We want the truth. We want the truth, the whole.
Peace and blessings, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my fans, and all my listeners. Welcome to another edition of FMW, where we are live in the studio. Of course, I got a question. Why black celebrities? Why black artists? Why black actors and sports figures aren't allowed to liberate black people? That's my topic of discussion for today. I know it's a logical question, and I know it's a common question that has crossed the minds of those who are thinkers. Why doesn't the black celebrities and actors and sports figures, why they don't come back to the black community and uplift their people? Why they don't uplift the communities, why they don't uplift the communities they come from? That's something that's been pondering in my mind. I mean, with all this black stardom, with all this black fortune, all this black success and black wealth, why don't celebrities come back and rebuild up the communities that they come from? Why do the communities continue to be impoverished, underdeveloped? They have lack of community empowerment, no leadership, no sponsorship at all from the celebrity world. Why is that? I don't get it. I mean, in the meanwhile, the communities, the people in the communities, they supporting these celebrities. They supporting these actors. They supporting these sports figures. They holding them down. They purchasing tickets. They attending events. Oh yeah, they buying their merch, and they following their trends. So the people is holding them down. Why aren't the black celebrities, actors, artists, sports figures holding down the people? Think about it.
They never freed us. They just found new ways to own us. In 1712, they created the house Negro, not to be free, but to keep the rest of us in chains. He ate what the master ate, wore what the master wore, and loved the plantation because he got to sleep in the big house.
Their loyalty wasn't to us. It was to power, to whiteness, to survival, at our expense. By the 1900s, they gave them a new name, the Black Boul'E.
They handpicked scholars, preachers, activists, gave them titles, degrees, and a seat at the table, as long as they never flipped the table. Then came the 1940s. They expanded the program.
Actors, singers, athletes, dancers, all sold the same line. You're special, you're chosen. Just entertain and keep the rest of them asleep.
And it worked. Today, the house Negro wears designer, drives foreign, signs NDAs and million-dollar contracts.
They're told, if black folks get free, you lose the bag. This isn't evolution. It's a polished plantation, run by faces that look just like yours.
Damn. I thought this was supposed to be a give and take situation. I thought you were supposed to give us the support and we were supposed to take over our situation. A give and take situation. One hand wash the other. Both hands wash the face. I thought that's the type of situation that it was going to be. But why isn't it? I think I understand why now. I think I understand much better now today. Some of the things I didn't understand yesterday. And the fact of the matter is, a devious plan has been conspired against you. Devious. A devious plan. You never even saw it coming. Caught you from the side. Well, it went like this. 10% of the prominent professional blacks have been selected to be the gatekeepers for the remaining 90% of blacks. Hear me now! They selected the most intelligent, capable, prominent, professional blacks that they could find. Only 10% of them, though. Just a small little few of them. And put them together and made them the gatekeepers over the 90% that was remaining. That's what they did. How low can you go? They slick with it. Masters of trigonometry. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Now, what was the purpose of creating this quote-unquote elite Boul'E? This elite black selected few. What was the purpose? What was y'all up to? Their job was to prevent black people from acquiring wealth, power, status, economics, and freedom. That was their job. To prevent, to get in the way, to be roadblocks, to set up failures and report back to the master. That's all it was. They even posed as activists. Some of them posed as civil rights fighters. Some of them posed as revolutionaries on the surface. But really, they were enemies of black achievement.
Go back in time. Let's go back to the times of slavery. During the times of slavery, we had plantations. This was large farms in the colonies of America that used the enforced labor of slaves to harvest crops like cotton, rice, indigo, sugar, tobacco, and other farm produce for trade and export around the world. This trade and export was how America was built. On this plantation, we had two different classes or groups of people. We had the masters and the slaves. There was no crossing between these classes. A master never became a slave, and a slave never became a master. Well, that's not entirely true. Eventually, there were slaves that became slave owners, but I don't want to get off point. I'm not going to talk much about the masters, but more about the slaves. To keep the slaves in line and know exactly what the slaves were thinking or plotting, the masters, they needed help. They needed allies within the slaves. So in the slave class, there was two other classes that were created. There were the regular slaves and then the house slaves. The house Negroes, which really is known by another word that I will not use. The house slaves were taken in the house, given better food and accommodations. They were treated better and were more aligned with the slave masters than they were with their own people. They were used by the slave masters to keep the slaves in line. The slave masters might not have been able to keep the slaves in line without the house slaves. It even became a goal for some of the slaves to be able to come inside and become house slaves themselves. Now, on top of that, the slave masters would also have babies with the house slaves. Those children would never be equal, but they were not the bottom class slaves that had nothing and had to work outside eating the scraps. I think you get the picture. And I think, for the most part, everyone should understand what the house slaves were. Now, here's the question I want you to think about. After slavery, and after they reprogrammed the slaves to believe that they were free, do you think that the position of house slave went away? Do you think that slave masters, those that were running and building this country, do you think that they did away with this house slave position that allowed them to keep tabs and control of the Negro community by just controlling a small few of them? The answer should be no. But here's the problem. Whether you ever thought about that question or not, you probably have not been exposed to the how. You might just call out a few names that you've seen on television that were obviously cooning and say that's what a modern house slave is. But you probably still have not been fully exposed to the real answer. And that's what we're going to talk about. Here's the irony, though, in obvious reprogramming of today. During the times of slavery, though there were a few slaves that wanted to become house slaves, the majority of the slaves, they despised the house slaves. They did not trust them or like them. Fast forward to our current modern times. Today, we praise the house slaves, and they are now our heroes. It's because we have been reprogrammed and reconditioned to love and accept our chains. And our goals are now to get in the house instead of breaking free. Now, if you watched the video that broke down Prince Hall Freemasonry, you already have a good understanding of how the separation began and was started. But it did not stop at Prince Hall Freemasonry. Within the ranks of the Masons were an educated, bourgeois class of black men that looked at themselves as elite compared to the rest of the other Masons. They wanted to be separated and distinguished from all the other Masons. And the ruling class of America, the elite families that are still the unseen hand of this world, they needed a source of recruitable Negroes to assist them with their plan to assimilate the Negroes into this new world that they were building. So there was a new subsection of the underground world of Negroes that was made to be the gatekeepers of Black America.
The black community never instituted their own representatives. Never. The leaders we got were the leaders that were given to us. We had no decision, no say-so. These leaders that were leading the black community were leaders that were given to the black community. Your Al Sharptons, your Jesse Jacksons, your Barack Obamas, your Thurgood Marshalls. Some even say even your Dr. King was a Boul'E. They said that they selected the brightest, the best, the articulate, the most influential individuals in the black community and made them Boul'E. The top dogs, the best of the best, the brightest, the sharpest, the most intellectual, the most articulate, men who had accomplished and gained success could only be invited into the Boul'E. And they had to take an oath that white supremacy would remain on top. Oh yeah. I know what you're saying. Why was the Boul'E created? Why? What the hell was this all about? It's very simple, my brothers and sisters. They were afraid of black greatness. They were afraid of black greatness, and some even hated it. Some even hated black, even though they were black. Can you imagine that? This been going on. This ain't nothing new. Like they said back in those days, it was two types of slaves. The field nigga and the house nigga. Damn. Black greatness was unstoppable. It was eternal, it was infinite, and they were scared of it. They had to take control. I mean, you could subject black greatness to the most unimaginable atrocities, and black greatness still would prevail. They discovered this. They knew this. They were afraid of this. This thing called black greatness. Woo! Damn. It can't be erased. It can't be oppressed. It can't be harvested. It can't be confined. And it can't be stolen. If it ain't yours, you can't keep it. People say, why was they so obsessed with all of this? Why all this had to happen? Because black greatness is everywhere. Everywhere. And black greatness is connected to everything. That's right. Discover who you are. Get to know yourself. There's a lot of hidden history within you. Melanin is the new gold. Roll the clip, Bob!
This counterfeit like LeBron James, who has that Boul'E logo tattooed on his chest. When LeBron retires, his number would be called 2. Okay, this is how the deep state, he thinks that he's just going to retire, and that's why he doesn't want to retire. You know the former NBA player Dwayne Wade?
Correct.
His son Zion is now called Zaya. Okay, this is how these people within the system, to go to the next level, you have to sacrifice something. This goes back thousands of years during the time of the pharaohs. If a man wanted to have access to Pharaoh, he had to sleep with the male magician. If a woman wanted to have access to Pharaoh, she had to sleep with the female magician. If a parent wanted their child to see Pharaoh, that child had to sleep with a male or female magician. Nothing has changed. In the rap industry, to go at a certain level financially, you have to be what we call butt broken.
Humiliation.
That humiliation. And to your powerful listeners, this goes back into slavery, right? The transatlantic slave trade. Slaves who could not be controlled were sent to the Caribbean, and they were tied down, mostly men, chest first, and molested by a male slave master in front of the other family members and in front of the other slaves. Nothing has changed.
Yeah. Talent became the new code word when it came to the black community. That word talent was the code word for control. That word talent was the key word, the code word for control. It's used in various industries. I'm talking about television industry, the acting industry, the music industry, the sports industry. It was all under the code of talent. That was the trick word. Now, upon completion of signing that contract, oh yeah, you a member of the club now. They got your back. Your image, your status, your finances, that'll all be determined after they calculate how profitable you will become to the industry. They got your back. All that's going to be calculated and tallied up for you. But one thing that you got to be mindful of is that taking the deal requires you to discard your liberties, throw them away, get rid of them, let them go, relinquish them, give them up. You got to get rid of your liberties. You can't be thinking about your rights and liberties and all of that when you done signed on the dotted line. It's too late for all of that. Part of the deal is disregarding your liberties. Let them go. Relinquish them. Because right about now, you about to be famous. You about to be famous. You about to be rich. You about to be a star. Don't you be thinking about no liberty, because you still gonna be a slave. Oh, yes, you is. Once you sign on the dotted line. So while you keep chasing that fortune and wealth, inside you were just losing yourself. It's forbidden. That's just it. It's forbidden. It's against policy for actors, artists, sports figures to come back to the communities they grew up in and help out. They can't do it. You better not. You better not go back to the block. You better not start empowering people in your own communities. You better not start helping build it up. Oh, you can't do that. You better not go back there and start educating your peoples. That's against our policy. You can't empower them. You can't help them out. No. You can't use our money to liberate your people. You can't do it. We're not going for it. We're not allowing it. We better not catch you back on the block. Okay? You moved up out the hood and you moved over here with us in Hollywood. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. You moved out the hood and you moved over there with them in Hollywood. And now it's all good. Do you see any of the black elite, any of the A-class, any of these actors or celebrities giving back or even visiting their old communities? Do you? Do you see anybody going back to the hood doing good? You don't. You don't see it. It's forbidden. You better not go back to the block. Like I said, they move on out the hood and they move up to Hollywood. That's what they do. They ain't think about no hood no more. Now you making six figures. You ain't no hood nigga no more. All these black Boul'E boot licking ass wiping Uncle Toms been playing us out all along, fooling you. Back in the slavery days, the field niggas, they didn't like the house niggas. They didn't get along with the houses. They couldn't stand the house niggas. But today, the field niggas want to be house niggas. The field niggas, they want to lick the boots of the house niggas. Put them up on a pedestal, buy their tickets, support their concerts, watch their movies. They want to become house niggas. That's where we at today. And while these house niggas is climbing the ladder of acceptance, attending events, going to all the dinner parties and red carpet events and fundraisers and Grammy Award ceremonies, all these celebrity bashes and after hour parties and baby oils. After all of that, the community that they come from, that they grew up in, is still being exploited. It's still impoverished. It's still poorly educated. It's still ran down, vaccinated, drug infested. Damn. being socially and economically underprivileged, underdeveloped, underestablished. It's bad. It's gotten so bad that celebrities don't even want to visit no more. Celebrities don't even want to visit where they grew up at no more. They don't want to be reminded. They don't want to have to reflect and remember these particular times in their lives. They don't want to think about it. They don't want you to remind them, man. So my question is this. What good is it to have wealth, power, and fame, and influence, and status, but you can't share it with the people who need it? What good is it if you can't share it with the community you grew up in? What good is it if you can't help the people that need your help? When you just gotta stand there and act like you don't see what you know you're seeing. That can't be a good feeling inside. How can you enjoy your success with these type of immoral restrictions put on you? It can be a good feeling not to be able to liberate your own people. You see everybody else liberating, supporting, sticking together, unionizing their communities, their cultures, but you can't do it. You can't do it with yours. You better not. We better not get you back on that block. You can't. You know what this means? This means that you're not liberated. And if you're not liberated, then you're not free. You're still a slave. Damn. To have to watch people suffer and be silent about it. You gotta look the other way. Pretend you don't see it. That's gotta be a terrible thing. To gotta sit back and ignore somebody else's pain when you can help them. But you better not. Damn. That can't be a good feeling inside. And you gotta be a real low down, dirty, crawling on your belly, snake in the grass type of individual to even live by those codes. To accept those terms and conditions. Damn. To have all of that superstardom and still be a slave. How do you look at yourself in the mirror? How you do it? What good is it to be the face of success only to find out when the show is over and the lights go out and the audience is gone that you're the janitor with the mop and the broom cleaning up the auditorium? It's the funk